good morning, GI. What time does the bread come? Now that is a really good question and probably not one you would think you would get at a library, but we might just come back to that later. One of the reasons that I'm here today is that there was some recent research conducted in Glen, which was led by Dr. Teslu. She's from the community group Kamo Te Wero. And that informed us of many things about the Glen community. The things that resonated the most with us was that 90% of the respondents were really, really happy living in Glen, or GI as I'll refer to it henceforth. They had no plans to move and had a really strong sense of belonging. The library was named as the most used community facility, and in her report to the research funding body, Dr. Liu stated, "Of all the community services currently used by a household respondent, the GI Community Library was consistently identified by name." That is GI Library, not the library. For the locals in GI, their library functions more like a community centre, which I think is kind of underpins their whole relationship with us, with its policy of allowing meetings with eating, singing, dancing and so on to be conducted there during the day and after hours as well. This beautiful mural is done by local artist and activist Emily Karaka, and she painted it as part of a competition run by Heart, which is Healthy Relationships in Tamaki. And Emily and Hart got together and decided that they would like to have it hung in the library, even though initially it was intended to be outside. So at the launch, or the unveiling of the mural, Emily spoke some really kind words about the library. And at the sort of morning tea afterwards, a friend of hers approached me and said that he was putting a petition together to get the library opened on Sunday. It's currently just a 6-day opener, and he said that he had noticed that on a Sunday that people in the town were very directionless because their community hub was not open. So if only it was that easy just to open a library another day. Choosing just a couple of snapshots to demonstrate the way our library is used by the community beyond the normal events and programs that all our libraries offer. It wasn't easy, but this, of course, is the beautiful quilting constructed during Selwyn College's Te Vaivai classes, which they hold in the library. The mamas that run this live locally, and it made sense for them to share their skills in a familiar and safe environment that was close to home and easy to get to. And in GI, if you need to sing, you sing. It's not just the many meetings we host that people sing, nor that are confined to just music, or nor confined to Music Month, sorry. We sort of sing for any excuse in the library. And one day I got a phone call from a woman who is the music therapist at the Centre for Brain Search at the Tamaki Innovation Campus, which is Auckland University. And she said that she wanted her group to come and sing for World Voice Day, which I personally had never heard of. These people are undergoing brain injury rehabilitation, and they came into the library and they sang all these very uplifting songs. Sorry. And if you want to dance, you dance. Well, what can we say about that? We have a staff of 7 and 3 are Cook Island Māori, so it goes without saying that there's a lot of dancing in there as well. We play many roles in the library, most of them so very different from what you would expect from a traditional librarian. We help our community, especially our children, make responsible decisions to navigate their way through life. And we're budgeters, we're counsellors, we're medical professionals, we are travel consultants, vets, second-hand clothing brokers, employment experts, peacemakers, baby whisperers, and even chefs. Yes, we do cook in the library. I've been to a few presentations recently where there's been a suggestion that we might cook in the library and be really daring. At GI Library, they've been doing it for a very, very long time, but please don't repeat that. We do cooking outside on barbecues too, but sometimes in the winter we do it inside. And it really does two things. It teaches our young people really good skills, and it feeds them, which is really an important thing over the school holidays. And doing all these things, of course, we add to the vibrancy of the neighbourhood. Let me just get to my next page. Yeah, getting there. Let's talk quietly amongst yourselves. The children of our community use our library for right throughout their childhood and their teen years. From this age, we have a lot of what we call library babies that we're sort of surrogate aunts to. Through to this age, we run a after-school homework centre 5 days a week that is funded by the Ministry of Education. We're one of 5 libraries in Auckland that do that. I mean, the school work is just part of it, but as I said before, there's those other things about growing up and being responsible community members. And then those children grow up and became, these young people. And this is Joshua, who used to come to the homework club. He's now a gorgeous young teenager, and they're always coming back to say hello to the facilitators of the homework club and use the library, which is really good. We always think it's really important that young people in our neighbourhood have another adult that they can trust next to their parent or their caregiver and their teacher, someone who's not either of those. And the staff in the library are the most valuable resource, and that's how they get used. Even our community constable, who catches kids skiving off school or have been stood down, brings them into the library where they have to stay until either their parents come and pick them up or a teacher arrives to take them to school. This boy's definitely not one of them though. And as soon as the constable goes out, they're begging us and trying to bribe us with lollies and things to let them go. Some of you have probably heard of Manaia Kalani. This should be a presentation on its own. In brief, it's an awesome and amazing example of how one group has strengthened their community. The Manaia Kalani Education Trust started this digital project in 2010 with the goal of having every pupil from low decile schools in Glen and Point England from years 5 to 8, plus Tamaki College, kitted out with a lease-to-own netbook. And this program is currently being evaluated by Auckland University's Wolf Fisher Research Centre. They get a variety of funding from government funding and corporates. So where to next for us? Well, Glen Library, we're not a project with a start and finish date where we can sort of proudly show off the results. Ours is an ongoing commitment to the community where change is inevitable and we must predict and respond to developing needs. Teslu's research showed the 2 main aspirations for respondents for their families are good health and well-being and a positive future for their children. We believe that the library will always bring people together, especially in face of what the community see as major challenges. They've kind of been hit 3 ways with the Tamaki Transformation Program, the Housing Accord and the Unitary Plan. They're really not sure what to think anymore. So it's really important that we're that stable sort of influence in the community, and not a lot's going to change with us. We're always going to be that safe environment. We think that apart from Pack and Save up the road, we're the only place in the area that brings people together from those Glendowie, Kohimarama, St Heliers, Stonefield suburbs to GI, Point England, and we model tolerance and people meet other people, and we feel it's a really good place for people to be getting together. And the good news is that we, of course, have Getting New Neighbours, a really exciting state-of-the-art music and arts centre. This, we envisage, will be the catalyst for creating a thriving community and neighbourhood for future generations. And just one last thing, back to the earlier question, when does the bread come? Well, it actually comes most Thursdays, Wednesdays, and it's free to use, so we'll see you out east side sometime. Oh, and one last thing, we have a beach in GI. You don't get that in Mount Eden.